From saloons to graveyards where evil sleeps, they walk amongst secrets they keep. Nightmare hunters with souls ablaze, cleaning up this town through the dark haze. Ladies of the night with eyes of red, vampires in the alleys where good men dread, wolfmen howling beneath the pale moon. But justice is coming and coming soon. From saloons to graveyards where evil sleeps, they walk among us, secrets they keep. Nightmare hunters with souls ablaze, cleaning up this town through the dark haze. Cryptids themselves, yet they stand tall against the darkness, answering the call for every lost soul, every whispered prayer. They fight for the light in the midnight air. From saloons to graveyards where evil sleeps, they walk among us, secrets they keep. Nightmare hunters with souls ablaze, cleaning up this town through the dark haze. The night is young, the hunt begins. For against the darkness where hope never ends.
Good evening, folks. Thank you guys for joining us for another edition of Monday Mayhem. It's going to be a good night, folks. We're going to have a good time tonight. But before we get too terribly started, first thing I want to say is for those of you who may not have caught the news the other night, we broke 10K. We're at 10,010 last I checked. And looks like we're going to be keep growing from there. So I can't wait. We're going to do the giveaway on this Wednesday night. Make sure Doc can be there. That way, Doc's there for it. And if Steve can make it, that'd be awesome too. But we wanted to do it when we were all here, and we could do all of the giveaways at one time.
You mean Saturday? Because Doc said he's not going to be able to make Wednesdays for a while.
Oh yeah, you're right. Okay, so we're going to have to do it on Saturday. Sorry, my bad about that. We'll be doing it this Saturday night. We'll do the giveaways on Saturday night. But we'll announce what they are a little closer and let you guys know. And there's going to be some good giveaways, folks. I think you guys are going to like it. But a couple of big announcements. This guy over here is still number one in hunting and fishing, which is freaking awesome. Very proud of him. Kodiak is still tearing up the charts. It's doing really good. And if you guys haven't had a chance to pick it up, you definitely need to get it. It is a very good read. And keep some tissue handy because you're probably going to need them. The book made Doc ugly cry.
Yeah, that's what he said. But so did Dark Frontiers. Well,
I was pretty proud of the ending of that one too. Devil the Absaroka is still at number one in Western horror. So it's still doing well. It's still holding its place in the charts. It's like number 16 or something like that in Westerns, just Westerns in general. It was at 13, but it slipped a little bit in Westerns in general. But if you haven't had a chance to pick up either of those books, I please hope you guys do. And check out the new one that's dropping from Luca T. Jacobs. That's going to be an awesome book. It should be burning up the charts as soon as it's out. So hope you guys will be picking that up. Robbie, what's it called?
Her newest one, I think, is Cryptid Valley. I have to check and see.
That's what I was thinking it was called too.
she turns them out quicker than I do, so it's hard to keep up with which is the newest. But let me check that right quick, and I'll get back with you.
Thank you, Don. And a big shout out to Luca. We love having her on the show. We're gonna have to get her back on here soon. She's an awesome writer, and her books are very, very entertaining. So if you need something to read while you're waiting for me and this schmuck over here to get our next books out, check out Luca's books and check out Heath Stallcup too. Good buddy of ours. He writes cryptid horror, Genosqua series. If you guys haven't read Genosqua series, you're kind of missing out. That's a good series.
It's Valley of the Dogman, not
Valley of the Dogman. I knew it had Valley in it.
Yeah, I did too, but I wasn't. I was thinking it was Cryptid Valley, but it's Valley of the Dogman. That's her brand new one.
So yeah, definitely get that one. And thank you guys thank the mods for putting these links up. Appreciate y'all getting those put up there. I was gonna say something else. I'll be danged if I can remember what it was. It seemed like it's fairly important. But then again, I'm kind of a lunkhead, so it may be important. I just forgot it anyway. That's all I can think of. I mean, I know there was something else, but I don't remember what it was. Do you remember at what point we started last week? So I can read to the point.
What point we started?
Yeah.
I know it was somewhere after Reagan got attacked because you went back and reread the so it was after he gets attacked by the she-wolf is where we started, but I can't remember exactly where after that. I think it was somewhere after Cormac came in.
I think that's probably where I'll start, just right as Cormac arrived. So I think I'll just start on that. Start at that point, finish out that chapter, and then we'll be able to start the next one. I almost had it. I was right on the tip of my tongue. I was going to say something, and I got to talking, forgot it again. So at some point, I will eventually remember what it was I was going to say. Dorothy says she can't hear us. My mic is right by me. I mean, it's right here.
Yeah, mine is too.
Anybody else having any issues hearing this? Anyone else having any issues hearing us?
Don says he hears us both.
Okay, well, Dorothy, it might just be your volume.
Roxanne says we're good. Marley says no problem. AJ says 5x5. Yeah, most of it. Callan says he can hear us.
Okay.
Bible study says can hear us fine.
Okay, well then it's probably not on our end. It could just still be YouTube. For whatever reason, if you watch YouTube videos, no two of them are ever the same volume. That happens to me all the time when I'm watching videos when I'm working. Lima Mike says Lima Charlie's loud and clear. Just dang cyber monkeys. Cyber monkeys. Okay. Well, I will go ahead and read up to where we're getting ready to start, and then we'll kind of wing it from there. Since this is pretty much the whole show is improv, I'll just pick a spot and start. As the wolves continued to gain on him, Reagan heard another noise. It wasn't the thunder of paws of the wolves. It was the pounding of hooves, and they were growing closer. Reagan glanced around, hoping it wasn't more brigands on horseback. He almost shouted for joy when 4 of his own tribesmen burst from the trees and charged directly at the wolf creatures. "Go, laddie!" yelled a warrior as he raced past him. Reagan knew him. His name was Cormac Shieldbreaker of Clan McKay. As Cormac thundered past him, Reagan saw the massive red-headed warrior bring up his enormous war hammer and whirl it around to increase its momentum. The hammer was called Dithrebor, meaning destroyer in Celtic. It had been forged nearly a century ago from metal that had fallen from the sky. According to the legends, the hammer glowed an eerie green in the presence of evil. True to the legend, Reagan saw it begin to glow the closer he rode toward the wolf creatures. "Fawabala!" roared Cormac as he slammed the hammerhead into the closest beast. The hammer struck with incredible force, smashing the skull of the beast and sending it plowing face first into the ground. Cormac's horse leaped over the body, stomping the beast as it passed, then kept thundering directly at the attacking wolf creatures. As the four riders continued to thunder toward the rapidly approaching wolves, Cormac whirled his hammer around and gave a loud battle cry to inspire the others. "Fao Amala!" he shouted Cormac. As the riders prepared to attack, the one on the far left was suddenly ripped from the saddle as two of the wolf creatures leaped from the bushes. The man made no sound and drove his sword through the first one before the second creature tore out his throat. The horse continued charging, heedless of the loss of its rider. "Brennus!" shouted Cormac. "See to Kernwig. Sinrig?
Sinrig, I think that's how we pronounced it.
Sinrig. "Aye!" shouted Brennus, whirling his horse to go back to check on his fallen comrade. Another beast leaped at Cormac, and he smashed it aside like it was nothing. The creature struck a tree with bone-breaking force and fell to the ground. It tried to get up, but it had too many broken bones and kept falling back to the ground. As he charged past, the other rider lopped the creature's head off with a broadsword and continued riding right behind Cormac. "Nicely done, lad!" shouted Cormac. "Stay with me, boy!" The younger warrior stayed his course, riding just behind and to the right of the massive Celtic warrior. "Stay alert," shouted Cormac. "There's more deviltry afoot." Cormac had barely finished his sentence when the massive she-wolf dove on him from the trees. She overpowered the gigantic warrior and dragged him from the saddle, sinking her teeth into his shoulder. Instead of screaming in pain, Cormac began laughing. "It'll take more than that to pierce me armor, beastie," he called as he drove a gauntleted fist into the side of her head. Snarling, she rolled to her feet, prepared to attack again, but Cormac was faster than she'd expected. He'd already recovered his hammer and rushed in, taking her off guard. His first blow smashed into her left shoulder, crushing the bone beneath the heavy steel onslaught. Before she could make her escape, he struck again, driving her into the dirt. "Back to hell, beastie!" he roared, swinging the hammer downward in a killing blow. The she-wolf saw her own death mirrored in the eyes of the gigantic Celtic warrior. At the last second, another wolf dove on Cormac and knocked his blow to the side. While the beast tried to reach Cormac's throat, the she-wolf began crawling away into the woods, looking to escape. "Not today, she-bitch," snarled the young warrior, trampling her beneath his horse's hooves. Leaping from the saddle, the young warrior drove his sword into her chest and twisted it violently. In desperation, she backhanded the young man away from her, then grabbed the blade and began to slowly pull it from her body. "I curse the lot of you," hissed the woman as she pulled the blade free and tossed it aside. "Maybe," said the boy, "but you'll be in hell afore it happens." She hissed at him and reached for the amulet she wore around her neck. Her look of triumph faded as she grasped at nothing. "Looking for this?" snarled the boy as he held up the amulet by the leather cord. Before she could say anything, the boy threw the amulet down on a large rock, then smashed it with the warhammer from his belt. There was a flash of light and a crunching sound as the magic was released, knocking everyone in the area to the ground. When the boy could see again, the wolf creatures were gone, and an acrid stench filled the air. "What the bloody hell just happened?" asked the boy. "You broke the curse, lad," answered Cormac. "Are they deed, da?" asked the boy. "Perhaps," replied Cormac, grinning. "Perhaps not. But the truth of it is, they're gone. And that's enough for now. Are you hurt, lad?" "No, da," replied the boy, grinning. "Did I fight well?" "Aye, son," replied Cormac. "You fought agin beasties no warrior should e'er have to face. You've earned that sword and the right to ride to defend your people. What's more, you've earned your battle name. I name you Thane Wolfsbane." Little did Cormac know that in so naming the young warrior, he had just set a chain of events in motion that would not come to fruition for more than 1,000 years. "Now, come, laddie," said Cormac. "We need to see to our dead and wounded. Ragan's hurt and has a mission to finish." Cormac whistled for his horse and swung into the saddle. He nodded at Thane, and they rode over to where Brennus knelt over the fallen Kieranrig. "He's dead. He's dead," muttered Brennus. "Aye," said Cormac solemnly. "Put him on his horse, and we'll see to him when we get home. I'll nae be leaving him to be eaten by the beasts." Brennus and Thane gently placed Kieranwig over the saddle and lashed him down so he wouldn't fall off. Then they all mounted up and headed after Raigan. It didn't take long before they caught up to him. His horse was walking slowly, and Raigan was slumped forward in the saddle, barely hanging on. "Get him down," snapped Cormac as he leaped from his horse. Thane joined his father, and together they gently placed Regan on the ground and began treating his wounds. Cormac began applying the healing herbs from his bag, then packed the wound full of clean cloth. Then he bound it to staunch the flow of blood. That'll have to do till we reach the village, said Cormac. How, muttered Regan. How did you? Rhiannon warned us of the attack, replied Cormac. We came as soon as she told us of her vision. Thank the gods, whispered Regan. And fast horses, added Cormac with a wry grin. Are they dead? Asked Regan. As dead as heel spawn can e'er be, replied Cormac. Now, let's get you to a healer afore you bleed out. Thank you, lads, said Regan, wincing in pain as they lifted him up into the saddle. Rhiannon had a message for you, said Cormac. She said that the fate of the world will one day rest on the precious items you carry. The swords that'll be forged will rule the fate of men. Bloody hell, muttered Regan. So, no pressure then. Let's go afore more than beasties show up, said Cormac. We're a burning daylight. With that, they rode off, keeping Regan in the middle, where they could both protect him and keep him from falling out of the saddle should he pass out. They rode as hard as they dared push with Regan's condition until they were clear of the wildlands between the Roman citadel and the lands of their clan. No sooner had they passed the territorial markers when they saw a cart approaching, being pulled by 2 oxen. Rhiannon was driving the cart. Cormac signaled for them to stop as they reached the cart. I've got soft furs and blankets, said Rhiannon. Get him into the cart. They quickly transferred Regan to the makeshift bed, and Rhiannon began treating his wounds. Thane tied his horse and the one carrying the fallen warrior to the back of the cart, then took over the reins. We'll keep you safe, said Cormac. Now, let's get those shards to Wayland. He's already expecting us, said Rhiannon as she worked on Regan. How's he doing? Asked Cormac. He's lost a lot of blood, answered Rhiannon. But as long as this wound doesn't turn sour, he should live. Good, replied Cormac. Besides, added Rhiannon, his part in this isn't over yet. And what part is that? Asked Cormac. That remains to be seen, Rhiannon answered cryptically, as does the part ye play as well, Cormac. The part both ye and your son will play afore this is through. What did you see in your vision? Asked Cormac. Death, replied Rhiannon, and rivers running red with blood. Cormac shook his head and glanced over at Thane. He'd hoped that whatever price had to be paid to the gods, that he would be the one to pay it, not his only son. But if that was the will of the gods, then they'd ride into legend together. And that's where we're going to start chapter 7, Fate of the Ninth. So, what are you guys thinking so far? Any questions, comments, suggestions for how we start this next chapter? And I'm going to share the screen now. Robbie, what are your thoughts on it, brother?
Well, I think we decided we were going to start on
with them getting information.
Yeah, with getting information from this guy, but we kind of were leaning towards him giving them the wrong info.
Yeah. What about y'all? Anybody have any ideas? Anything you guys want to pop in there before we get started? Have you noticed that Word does this now?
Yeah, I don't know what it is, but I noticed that the other day.
You highlight that and then click it, and Copilot will rewrite the sentence for you, which I think is infuriating because Copilot does not need to be writing anything. I mean, Copilot is useful to do research and stuff like that, but I'm not letting an AI rewrite my sentences, let alone write them.
Yeah.
It's just a little aggravating, but I can't turn it off. I don't know how. Lima says, if Cormac's hammer is forged from a meteorite, referring to it as steel, well, they wouldn't really know anything else to call it. They just assume it was, metal forged from sky metal. But then again, they would probably, if it was soft enough to forge, they probably bonded it to steel to make it strong.
Toshi says he's with me. the guy they captured spills beans, but only to lead the Legion into a trap, a death trap.
Alrighty.
Well, Nick, we'd already just
Yeah, it was a dude they captured.
Yeah. So I don't think they had certain things back then like we do now. So
So, what kind of interrogation methods did they use in the Roman army?
I have to consult the Googles on that.
There's one called fidicule, the rack, basically putting someone on the rack. Equilius, there was another type of the rack using a wooden horse-like contraption to pull limbs outward through a series of pulleys. Flogging and burning, crucifixion, and the brazen bull. This method was a Greek invention involving placing the victim inside a hollow bronze statue shaped like a bull and lighting a fire underneath it to roast them alive. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about that when Kenny got his grill.
Yeah. Yeah, but I thought we were just, I thought that was like, a joke. I didn't think that the Romans actually did that.
That was real, brother.
Angela Monroe says the Iron Maiden. Excellent.
Execute them. Bogus.
K Bauer says, didn't they have one they'd put you in a box with rats? I would not be surprised. Cat o' nine. That was more like the British Navy. I think the British Navy used the cat o' nine tails. I could be wrong about that, but
I think they did.
I know the British Navy was traditional up in until 100 years ago was still fond of the lash.
I want to say that's what they used on Jesus when they flogged him, because they were talking about each tip was cut, had that little bone barbed tip on it. Miss Lene, you might can either correct me or say I'm right on that, but I believe that's what they used.
The cat o' nine tails is a multi-tailed whip historically used for punishment and most famously in the British Royal Navy and the British Army, apparently, and during the transatlantic slave trade. Its exact origins are debated, but one theory connects it to ancient Egypt, where a cat was considered sacred and a whip with 9 tails symbolized its mythical 9 lives and left scratches like a cat's. So it may date back to ancient Egypt, but it was most commonly used by the British. That's one thing you can say about the British. They're responsible for more independence celebrations around the world than any other country.
Yep.
Miss Lene says, yes, bone and glass bits. God, that's a brutal way to get. Not that there's a good way to take a beating, but that's brutal. Was that on Pirates of the Caribbean when they said on Davy Jones' ship? They said that the bosun with a whip could flay the skin from the bone.
Mm-hmm.
That's brutal. Kay Bauer says, I bet they had one when they tied you down and made you watch the Teletubbies. Yeah, I'd confess anything if they try that one on me.
Yeah.
Nick Borer says, hey, Robbie, my son loves the Grail book.
Ah, awesome. Thank you. Yeah, I've heard that too, Larry. They pulled people's fingernails out. I used that one. I used that one in Grail, remember?
Yeah. I've got an idea. Let's Shut up. But interrupting me there, Microsoft. That's the word I'm looking for.
Puddle of his own what?
Of his own making.
Oh, I didn't see making. I just all I saw was puddle of his own making, and I thought it said making him whimper. I was like, puddle of his own what? struck.
Yes, sir. God dang it. Keep hitting the wrong key. Sorry, I need a
Good.
drink.
I was going to suggest that Gideon suspected something was wrong with it, but you already put it in there. Because I don't think Gideon would jump all over that and say, "Oh, yep, that's it."
Hold on. I need to look up his name. I know it's Crixus, but there, Tribunus. I could not remember for the life of me. What the? Stupid shortcuts. Short codes. eat a drink. Sorry. Caffeine. Oh, I didn't put a time. Okay. Northwoods.
Sluttiest Maximus.
Do you remember the name of the guy he made his assistant in the ninth cohort?
The one that got promoted to Centurion.
Yeah, what was his name?
If you hadn't asked me, I could have told you. What was his name?
If I could type, I might be able to get it. Claudius.
What you looking for?
Was thinking, because I mentioned trap up here. I don't know if I wanted to say it twice. There we go. I like that better. What do you guys think? A ruse? That's a good one, Ben. I think I like that. You think it's a mistake to march north? Because in the Roman army, this would be very conspiratorial. They would be essentially plotting against their senior command. This discipline had to be perfect. All right, what do you guys think? Where should we go from here? Should we begin the march? We are, what it looks like about 6 pages in. Not bad for the. So being on page 70, we're 6, almost 7 pages in for not bad for, an hour's writing essentially. So what do y'all think? Should we go ahead and begin the ride north? Should we have something else happen? Toshi says we begin the. What's the word count for the chapter? I don't know what the word count is. Let me see if I can just do a quick count. See if it'll do it anyway. It's about 1,500 words. 1,552, more or less. That's not bad. Miss Lenny says march north. Barry says go back to Reigen. Well, like I said, we're almost 7 pages into this. We could end this chapter with them preparing to ride north, and then go back to another chapter about Reigen and the forging of the swords. Don says have the wolves attack. Okay, you're wanting to jump to a big fight fast. Ben says march. I think we should finish this chapter out with them preparing to march north, to head north of the Citadel, and then we'll jump back to Reigen and start with the forging of the swords. Because historically, we know what's going to happen when they go north.
Yep.
That's not a surprise. What's going to be the surprise is what happens after. What else did they? I'm not talking about the gladius or the scutum shield. I know they would take an extra pilum. Take extra pilum and
Julie wants to know if there's any way Claudius will be one of the ones that gets the sword.
could be.
We hadn't really got into any kind of backstory much from him anyway, so we don't know.
True. Ben, you might know this. There, some of you all others might. What was the Roman beverage that they carried? It was an antiseptic, but it was also a traveling drink, kind of like modern day Gatorade. Was it Posca? Am I thinking of the right word? Was it Posca? I think Posca is what I was looking for. Yeah, it was a drink the Romans carried. They carried it in their water bottles. It was an equal mixture of either potent wine and water, or potent like
Posca was an ancient Roman drink made by mixing water, wine, and vinegar, bracing but less nutritious and generally less palatable than wine. It was open up. It was typically a drink for soldiers and lower classes and slaves. So that's probably what you're thinking of. Usages. Widespread use of Posca was attested by numerous mentions by ancient sources ranging from natural history. Blah, blah, blah.
I just want to make sure I had the right word.
Yeah, that's the.
So, for all I do, I was saying, telling him to carry an extra ration of Polish little sandwiches, but that's pierogies.
Yeah, that's actually what they dipped the sponge in and used to wet Jesus's lips.
Yeah, it worked like a natural antiseptic, but it also worked like Gatorade. It replaced electrolytes better than just water. It wasn't great to drink. I mean, it had to taste like unmitigated hell, but it was a very potent drink for them to carry and keep the Roman army on the march. Kate Bauer says, I guess so. I have my water and apple cider vinegar. It always smells like a sweaty sock, but it's shockingly good for you. God dang it. Keep hitting the wrong thing. There, hit it again. Hold on a second. The heck just happened?
You pushing buttons again.
I was just typing. That wasn't me. Something weird's going on. I didn't touch anything that time. I was reading something.
Yeah,
What the heck is going on? This is just faster. Okay. I think that's where we're going to stop this chapter and pick up the next. What am I going to call this next chapter?
Don says forging the blades.
That's not bad. Into the unknown. Well, this chapter is going to be about Regan and Wayland the sword maker. Be chapter 10 when we talk about what happens when they go north. No, it'll be chapter 9. The name of the guy. Oh, yeah, that's name of the guy that makes the swords. Wayland is a good chapter heading. Into the breach. Forging of the sword, be forging of the swords, plural. Master of the forge, that's pretty good. A forging we will go. One forge to rule all the other forges. Might be pushing dangerously close to a major copyright issue with that one.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Wayland's Forge. Oh, I like that. I like that. What do y'all think? That's pretty good. Wayland's Forge. I kind of like that. I need a village name too. All right. Anybody got any suggestions for a village name? Mossy Oaks. Thanks, Wyatt. It's actually it's called Roman Unical. I bought a bunch of fonts. Roman Unical Modern, actually. I bought a bunch of fonts in a package so I could use different fonts for my books. Brigadoon. I think that one's been used, but yeah, that's not bad. We need a Celtic village in about 108 AD. Be a Celtic village, not a Roman. Gilgal. That's kind of interesting. The village of Bree. Wait, that was in the Lord of the Rings. Can't use that.
Yep.
Culloden. No, that would be much farther north. Culloden's actually in Scotland, but I'm not even sure if Culloden was around in 108 AD.
But Gideon does make it to Culloden.
Yes, he does. Just not in this book. Mag Kusach. I kind of like that. That's pretty cool. Is that kind of period correct, Ben? Mag Flame.
Galgloden.
Means the hollow pain. Huh. That's pretty cool. But I think that would make a better name for a ship, don't you think? That would be a cool name for a ship, Hollow Pain. Kind of apropos, anyway. I'm just going to Google a list of medieval village names. Hmm. Hmm. Brewa means bridge. Um. Hmm. Hmm. How's that? I mean, it's from the words Bailey, meaning homestead or settlement, and Kale, which means narrows.
Sound good to me.
Okay. So, should we start this chapter? We are approaching the top of the hour. We're about 15 minutes out. We don't have to worry about meeting the time constraints that we would have to meet when we're doing the on X ones, but because this one's just on our channel.
But we started later than normal, and I got to get up
Yeah.
and too. So
That's true. So I probably shouldn't go too terribly much later. Well, we did knock out a whole chapter, which is pretty nice. We will. I tell you what, for next week, have everybody get your ideas together. We're going to need a few people's names, both men and women. Just kind of keep these on hand if we need them. We're also going to need kind of a description of the village, and well, if we're going to make the swords, we need names for all of them, and there's only a couple of them that have been named so far. So that's the homework for this week, folks. I'll go ahead and close this out. Whew, it's a little warm back here today. My office is hot for some reason. Yeah, probably Gaelic names. Yeah, definitely Gaelic names.
machete.
Yeah, Jetty, don't text. I don't really think I could find a place for that particular actor in this particular book. Uh, Graham, Durandal, Caliburn. Just saying, might come into play. Uh, let's see. Well, as we're winding things down, probably a good thing to go ahead and take a second and point out. When folks remember our affiliates, the folks that support the channel, check out the good folks over at Scallywag Tactical. Make some awesome blades if you're going to be camping, hunting, fishing, whatever. They got a knife for every occasion. Fantastic blades, veteran-owned company, and y'all know we're very, very proud to support our veteran-owned companies, first responder-owned companies. So check out Scallywag Tactical. Don't forget to use discount code DA Roberts 10 for 10% off your order, and check out the awesome folks over at Dark Angel Medical. Best med kits in the business. I carried one for years as a cop. Wouldn't trust my life to any other kit. They've got kits from basic first aid kits all the way up to full field trauma kits. So any kit, any emergency kit you might need, they've got it. Check out Dark Angel Medical. Don't forget they're HSA and FSA certified, and you can get all of your kits at darkangelmedical.com. And don't forget to use the discount code Cryptid20 for 20% off your entire order. And most recently, Robbie, you want to tell them say a little bit about Sigwo?
Yep, Sigwo's our latest affiliate. They make custom pew-pews. They also have ones that you can just go in and buy. They make their own freedom seeds in-house, and they cut out the middleman so they can pass that savings on to you. They have their own in-house laser engraving, so they can custom make anything you want on it. Plus, they're licensed to do the Dark Frontiers and Wild Hunt logos, code name Wild Hunt. They're great group of guys. The Codys, go tell them we sent you, and they'll take care of you.
Absolutely.
Also, Whisper Pickles. I forgot to mention those.
Yeah, they do have Whisper Pickles for those of you who would like to protect your hearing. We'll just put it at that.
Yep.
And they can help you get all that set up. They can handle all the paperwork. They are an FFL licensed gun manufacturer, and they can help you out in any way you need it and ship to anywhere. So again, check out sigwoarms.com and let them know we sent you.
And I think the code is Bigfoot5.
Bigfoot5. And if you're a veteran or law enforcement, that jumps to 10%. So they definitely support their veterans and first responders as well. So check them out. Let them know we sent you. Key Bauer says, I still need a Wild Hunt Shorty and 300 Blackout. They'd be the folks to do it. They've got a special on ammo right now. 300 Blackout. I think it's, how many rounds did I say it was? 500?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, 500 rounds of 300 Blackout for $289 in a carry case. It comes in a plastic ammo tin. Same thing with 5.56, but it's only $205. Yeah, folks. When don't forget, check out Robbie's new release, my new release, and if you see a new face in the crowd tonight, One True Ben is an old buddy of mine. He's a writer as well. Ben S. Reader is what he writes under. Check out his books. He's got some awesome books on Amazon. I hope you guys will check them out. Tell him we sent you, and hope you guys will enjoy them. He's got a whole line of books. He's got a zombie series. He's got one series called The Demon's Apprentice, which is pretty well received. You guys can check it out. If you like Jim Butcher, you'd like this series. Check out all of his most recent books, and let him know we sent you. Don't forget to check out Luca T. Jacobs as well. Luca's an awesome writer. She does cryptids, does a lot of cryptid horror, kind of in the same genre that Robbie and I write in, and she's an absolutely awesome writer as well. Hey, we're all about supporting our fellow authors because, we don't see other authors as our competition, because anytime we can encourage people to read, it's a win for every author. So yeah, find those books, especially these indie artists that put their heart and soul into everything and have to do all their own legwork. Luke is an indie. Robbie and I are both indie. Ben's an indie. Heath Stallcup is kind of a hybrid. He's with a publisher. He's with a publisher, but he still has to do all his own legwork because it's a very small publishing house. But yeah, Heath Stallcup's another great writer. Check him out. We've got some great writers here on the show. We saw John Mayberry the other night. That was a lot of fun. We had Keith R.A. DeCandido a few weeks ago. That was awesome. I need to get him back. He's a hell of a writer, especially if you're into sci-fi. But look for more of those. We're gonna, as we branch out and get more writers on the show. That'll be on the regular show. Monday Mayhem is just going to be us, doing what I like to call interactive storytelling. Heath just released Genosco 5. That is awesome. Heath's a good writer. I'm going to have to pick that up. May see if he wants to come on the show and promote it. And we'll be doing more of that too. We'll be reaching out to some authors we know, especially indie authors, see about having them on the show, and helping to promote their works as well. Especially now that we're with Onyx Network, we're getting to a much bigger audience. And again, we just broke 10,000 subscribers. So tune in on Saturday night. It was Saturday.
Yep.
Saturday night, we'll be doing the giveaway. We should have Doc with us. Hopefully, we can have Steve with us. But we're doing our big celebratory 10,000 subscriber show on Saturday, and we'll be doing some giveaways. So I hope you guys will tune in for that. Trying to think, is there anything else we need to cover? I never did think of what the other thing I was going to say. It's completely gone. It'll probably occur to me about 3 a.m. I'll be like, son of a... And also, don't forget to be thinking about, like everything we were talking about. Have a few names on hand, maybe a couple of village names. Who knows? We might need those as well. Sword names, things like that. Because we're kind of really getting into the point where the combat's really going to kick in. Although we've already had a fair bit, but the next chapter with Gideon involved is with the 9th going north, and things are about to get spicy. Thanks, man. Appreciate it, Ben. Ben, shoot me a message. Maybe we can set up book signing at the shop, the one you just mentioned. What was the name of it again? I completely forgot the name of it. Nowheres. I need to take some books up there anyway because Beth was texting me about bringing some. Yeah, if I remember, write it down. I will. I sleep with a notepad next to my bed, Northwoods, because I think of crap all the time, and then if I don't write it down, I won't remember it when I get up. But yeah, I'd like to maybe see if we can advertise, get 2 or 3 or 4 of us indies there at Nowheres and advertise a book signing and have tables for all of us. I think that would be awesome, especially if we can book it and maybe get local radio station or somebody involved, or even do a live podcast from there. But I've been thinking about that. That'd be a great way to kind of support local and do book signings and stuff like that, and get the names out there. So maybe we can work on doing that. Ben also has a writing workshop that he does there at Nowheres. I've been thinking about doing one myself, but obviously I want to make sure it's on a different night so we're not competing with each other. Trying to think if there's anything else. Yeah, definitely. One thing we've always got to mention before I forget is the 22 a day foundation. We lose 22 veterans a day to suicide, and that is 22 too many. Check on your friends and family who are first responders or veterans in any capacity. Don't matter what branch they were in, what capacity they served. These men and women in uniform have seen and done and experienced things that no human should have to deal with. Dealing with the PTSD from some of the things they've experienced is a bastard. They're fighting demons, and they don't have to fight them alone. It's one of those cases where, that "Hey, how are you doing?" text might be what keeps somebody off the edge that day. Reach out to them, let them know you're thinking about them, let them know you care, because 22 a day is 22 too many, and let's get 22 a day down to 0 where it needs to be. Just a guy, I didn't heard about that. 3 Virginia DOC officers were attacked this morning in prison. 1 was killed, 2 are in the hospital. Keep them in your families in your prayers. Absolutely. If you pay attention to the news, we're seeing a lot of line of duty deaths. So just keep those men and women, all of them, in your prayers, because you never know. You never know, when you might put on. We used to deal with that here with my wife and Robbie. Him and his family deal with it still. Every time you put on that body armor, could be the last time you do. And that weighs on you after a while. And I can tell you from experience, even though I still go armed everywhere, I'm still I'm still in my heart, I'm still a sheepdog. But anybody that served in the military or anybody that served in law enforcement will tell you, you never really forget the weight of that gun. Even when you're not carrying it, you still feel it, and you probably will the rest of your lives. And that's why these men and women deserve our support and our care. So reach out to them, let them know you're thinking about them. Robbie, tell them where to get your books, Mr. #1 bestseller in hunting and fishing.
Amazon.com. Robbie Raines books or Robbie Jed Raines books. Same for this guy over here. Find us on Amazon. Find Lucas books on Amazon. Go check them out.
Ben's on Amazon?
Yeah, Ben's on Amazon. Heath, all of us that y'all like, find us on Amazon and check them out. Leave us some reviews because that helps out a lot too if you like them.
Oh yeah, reviews definitely help. If you've read the new book, either of ours, make sure you go by, even if it's just, something simple like good book or enjoyed it. But because every review helps. And Amazon really doesn't start pushing those books until they hit like 100 reviews. So it's every review counts. I mean, even if it's, like I said, if it is just one word, that still counts as a review. And every one counts. And we really like to see some reviews get on these numbers, because it certainly helps us get it further into the algorithm. And then once you hit 100, Amazon actually starts including it in the newsletter. So please, if you have time, or if you've already read the book and enjoyed it, please take a moment and leave a review. That would be awesome. We would sure appreciate it. Right, Ben. Reviews definitely help push your visibility. Thanks, Don. Appreciate it. Trying to think if there's anything else we need to cover. It is coming up on the 10 o'clock mark. Well, I guess we've got the toast. We don't have to remove our hats for this toast because the Monday night toast's a little bit. So your turn or my turn, brother?
So I believe it's your turn.
Is it mine? All right. Well, I don't have. Oh yeah, I do. I do have it. Find on this studio. I was thinking we were on the other one because I don't have any of the toast set up. But it's an old Irish toast, and since we're just enjoying ourselves and talking about writing and talking about books and sharing our experiences and doing this little activity of what we call interactive storytelling, this one's more appropriate and a little less solemn than the others, but it doesn't hold any less potency, because we feel very strongly that we're happy to have each and every one of you guys as part of the family. And we glad you guys are support the channel. Glad you guys enjoy the content, and make sure you're sharing the channel with those that enjoy this kind of content, because it really does help us get out there. But we'll close her out with a toast, and the toast says, "There are good ships and wood ships and ships that sail the sea, but the best ships are friendships, and may they always be." Slanja va. Good night, everyone, and we will see you guys on Wednesday night. Slanja.
Slanja.
Plains, the winds are howling, saloon doors swinging, shadows growling. 3 lawmen stand tough as rawhide. Yeah, Doc and DA, nothing can abide. Whiskey shots and poker faces, staring down the darkest spaces in this town where legends roam. These boys bring justice, sending evil home. Cryptid lawmen, wild and free, hunting monsters for all to see. With silver bullets and grit of steel, they fight the darkness, make the demons squeal. From dusty canyons to moonlit plains, justice rides with wind and rains. Cryptid lawmen, a fearsome sight, standing tall against the endless night. Jed's a howler, claws of steel. Doc's a biter, makes the devil real. But DA's a shifty one, a shape-shifting soul. Can turn to anything, takes any form, takes control. Tonight the chupacabras come to town, sucking the life from all around. But these lawmen darkness, unafraid. Cryptid lawmen, wild and free, hunting monsters for all to see. With silver bullets and grit of steel, they fight the darkness, make the demons squeal. From dusty canyons to moonlit plains, justice rise with wind and rain. Cryptid lawmen, a fearsome sight, standing tall against the endless night. Bat wings flap, the air grows cold, a chill and trap. But these lawmen, they're ready to fight underneath the pale moonlight. Jet and Doc transform with a howl. DA shifts, becomes a night owl.